Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Strand Farm, where we grow independent together. Today, it's just me on the farm, and I've got work to do. But first off, let's show you this compost pile that our chickens made over the last couple of months. It's still about 100 degrees inside, and it's at least a cubic yard, probably. Let's just call it a cubic yard. It's more than that, but who cares? Cubic yard every couple weeks. And today's tasks involve setting up the chickens with another compost pile. But we're gonna be really on steroids now because we've got another 28 birds coming to Strand Farm and we gotta get ready for them. So we're gonna incorporate this IBC tote. I gotta move that today. So that's going to be one of our water sources that we fill with our spring for keeping those piles nice and wet. Not too wet, not too dry. Goldilocks style. We'll come down here. Now I got to drag this IBC tote either around the island that way or around the island that way. Let's go through here. So today, I also got to process this oak tree. So there's about 40 feet of oak tree that's 14 inches thick at the base. We got to get through that. So our IBC tote can come down to right here. We're going to set the IBC tote here. And then when we're watering the chickens and watering the compost, we can just tap right into this IBC tote full of water. In lieu of turning on our generator, and we don't have our ram pump set up yet, so that's what we got to do. Now the next thing I got to do today is I got to deliver some leaves to these chickens. And Don agrees. We need to get leaf mulch and their bedding into this pile right here. Does it look like a pile? Nope, it's all just flattened out. But we'll work on that. The main carbon source we use at Strand Farm for our composting is leaves from trees. Now a leaf from a tree on its own is very hydrophobic, so water doesn't go inside and break them down very easily. So that's why down here below the chicken tractor setup, we collect our leaves. So we add fresh leaves, we add intact leaves, and we let the chickens just destroy them, breaking down all those cell barriers, all those membranes, so that when I add water, the water sticks. And that really, we found that really accelerates the composting of leaf mulch material. Now I'll take you through that entire system at some point, but we're still trial and erroring it, and learn one, then do one, and then teach one. So we're in the process of doing, and then we'll teach y'all how we do it, all right? And it's not getting any cooler. The sun is coming up, so let's get to work. All right, here we are at the IBC tote. This is one of my bigger tasks and one of my least favorite ones to do today. And that's the one we're going after first. Why are we going after it first? Because the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So let's take a bite out of this beast. monster crickets. Wow. That wasn't too bad. I'd say they weigh about 50 pounds. And fortunately, we're going down. Let's work with gravity. All right, we did it. The IBC tote is down at the oak tree. Now let's sharpen our chainsaw, get some bar oil in it, fill it with some gasoline, and let's get through that oak tree. All right, here's a tip for maintaining flow when you're got a bunch of tasks. Have your equipment ready to go so you don't gotta stop the flow and start over. So we didn't do that. I didn't sharpen my chainsaw after the last time I used it, so I gotta sharpen it now. I like to start at the little, I don't know if you can see it here. This little link right here is green. Anyway, that's my link to remember where I'm sharpening, and once I've gone around the entire bar, I've got each link. This is a Oregon chainsaw sharpening tool with a guide. It's a 30-degree angle that I am going to sharpen my chainsaw with. Am I perfect at this? God, no. I am not perfect at this. Will I get better? Absolutely. The more we do it. So getting back to flow and flow on the homestead, you can have every plan, every goal lined up the night before and get yourself set up for what you're doing that day. But if you expect it all to go exactly to a T of how you planned it, one, you're gonna be bored because what's life without surprises? And two, it just ain't gonna happen. Whether you forgot to sharpen your chainsaw, or one of your tools breaks, or someone in your family gets sick, who knows? But that's the spice of life. And speaking of the spice of life, something that's really awesome that's been happening here on Strand Farm is that either our predecessor or nature itself has all kinds of beautiful flowers growing all over our homestead. We've got irises, we've got daffodils, and they were just waiting for some steward to come along and start taking care of the land, start exposing some of that good earth. And then boom, you got a flourishing garden. We've got berries popping up all over the place. Haven't even identified them yet. Ashley thinks we've got some blackberries, some wild strawberries. We've got we call them yard onions. They're just wild onions. We've been putting those on our food. I'll probably have to get a new chain at some point, because in the practicing learning how to sharpen this one and maintain it, there's different aspects of sharpening a chainsaw. I don't know all of them. I don't have the right tool for a couple of the pieces, so by the time I get that tool, I may have already wore out this chain, but that's okay. It's getting use, and we're getting projects done. 7 months ago, I couldn't even look at a chainsaw. I was so scared. Now I'm flossing one like I floss my own teeth. let's go back to talking about flow. I think everybody's in it, whether you're playing a board game or playing a sport or just getting something done. We sometimes enter these things called flow states, and that's where time kind of stands still and we're just making progress, and man, make a lot of progress, get a lot of stuff done when you're in a flow state. But flow states require time to enter. Some people can get right into them, other people it takes a couple hours. But once you understand what's going on, you start to be more attracted to acquiring the flow state, and that's what I'm going to do today. I don't know if you'll be able to catch it on camera or not, but I'm just going to keep moving. I'm going to keep moving through my tasks, and then my mindset is going to keep me moving. Oh, there's a hummingbird. And there'll be distractions, but we'll be fully aware, we'll be fully in the moment, and then at the end of the day, we're going to see all the progress that we made. And we're going to go back and we're going to do it all again tomorrow. Oh yeah, she's dry. I love our electric chainsaw, but if I use the word love for the electric chainsaw, I don't have a word for this chainsaw, and it's greater than love. This chainsaw is fantastic. That's the problem with words. We tend to use really big words for really simple things, like I love this chainsaw. Boy, that's a waste of the word love. I enjoy this chainsaw. This is bar oil. This keeps the chain lubricated while we're cutting through all that oak. You got to keep an eye on these levels. You don't want to be running the chain dry. Cause a lot of damage to your chain real quick. Okay, our chainsaw is ready. Are you guys ready? Let's go tackle this oak tree. It's in the way of my IBC tote. All right, let's go with the tools we're gonna use for this oak job. We've got our log bar, we've got our mattock. The mattock is gonna be used to help support the log. I'll show you down there. We got our chainsaw, we've got our bar oil, we've got our gasoline oil mixture, we've got our protective earwear. I'm wearing my chainsaw chaps, and then my handy dandy sandals. Shoe safety, come on. You gotta wear safe shoes. But you also gotta wear what you work best in. You also can't do everything. If I were gonna put my steel-toed boots on, I'd be so hot and so miserable. I live in these sandals. I backpack in them, I homestead in them. Shoot, I would be barefoot. Maybe I'll do this barefoot. Let's do some grounding today. Them same people that tell you, oh, that's not safe, you're not being safe. Well, guess what? They probably don't drink enough water, and they're hurting their kidneys nonstop every day, all day. I drink my water. I'm not gonna live in a bubble, guys. That's for Seinfeld. Oh, you feel that loam? Woo-hoo-hoo! I don't even know if we need to build soil. This is so good. Just kidding. Let's keep building soil. You know, if you use your shoes half the time, they'll last twice as long. Think about it. All right, it's time to get back into flow. Okay, I gotta get this log up in the air, so I'm gonna use my pry bar or my log bar as a lever with this piece of cut oak, and then I'm gonna push this piece of wood underneath. Come on. Come on. I should have used a straighter piece. Hey, we'll take it. Is that perfect? No, it isn't. Will it do? Yes, it is. That's why we call it good enough. We'll go on the back side here. I'm gonna hit my pneumatic in. Just to prevent this log from rolling. I know it's not because it's got this big old branch out right here, but that's my little support. All right, let's cut a few more rounds. One bite at a time. That elephant's gonna be gone soon. Excellent. All right, we've got our mattock in. We've got our wood supports underneath, so we should be able to saw through the rest of this right here. All right, we're on the final 25 feet. I'm pretty sure I'll run out of gas. So I'm gonna check the gas right now, fill it up. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna check my bar oil. And then soon Mr. IBC is gonna have free and clear passage down to the lower island. $15 more feet to go. Now, I don't think we're gonna try to split this for garden beds or anything like that. It's just so thick and so knotty. I'm going through knots like every 6 inches, and that's why these pieces are so hard to get through. I mean, look at that. Knot. We've come a long way today. Keep that flow. All right, y'all, we got our water refilled. Got my shorts on, got my long sleeve because my arms are burning. Let's finish this tree out. I'm gonna go up here where the oak tree's already off the ground a little bit. I can probably get about 3 rounds right there. And then I'll come back down here and I'll do my lever system, and I'll just keep chipping away at this bad boy until she's done. This oak is so thick. That's why it burns so long, is it's just so tough. Okay, now let's leverage it up and let's go back down here. Quick intermission. That's still compost that we made when we got here at Strand Farm this fall. There's still enough in there for probably one more garden bed. Ashley did her asparagus trench over there. She's filled a bunch of pots and starters up there. She's done tree rings. She's filled all of these garden beds, including that deep bed, with that soil that we've been making with our chickens. I don't understand all of the mechanics. I don't understand all the chemistries, but if it works, right? And we'll keep learning as we go, and if we find that there's stuff that doesn't work very well, we'll tell you. And once we get this mastered, we'll teach you. With the oak tree out of the way, we can move the IBC tote down to the lower island. This tree needed processing anyway, because we got to finish building our garden boxes and planting all of our vegetables and the rest of our food forest for the spring. So it was really good to get this out of the way. It's even better to get this IBC tote down to our composting area. And we are just on a flow. Let's keep going. This elephant's almost gone. All right, let's take a break and go down to the creek. Moose, should we go to the creek? Should we go to the creek? Come on, sleepy girl, let's go get wet. Oh yeah. Look at all this work we did today, Moose. Mama's gonna be so proud. Just saw a damselfly. Spring is really moving fast. I think it's close to 80 degrees today at Strand Farm. That's incredible. You go back and look at our starts, and we'll post some videos from our beginning, but you didn't even know there was a driveway here, a driveway here, a driveway here. All that was all overgrown, just mismanaged. We had our chickens clear out this whole area and build soil in the process. Now we've got it planted. Now the chickens are on the lower island. They're gonna build massive amounts of soil for us. Come on, Moose. So stay tuned in to Strand Farm, where we keep growing independent together. Oh, come on, let's go in. Oh, yes. That feels so good. There are very few things more invigorating than a creek swim. Or in our case, a dunk. Woo! Oh, yeah, it feels good. I'm not brave enough to dunk. Ah, screw it. Let's go for it. Woo! Oh, that feels good. All right, now that we've cooled off, Let's go work on the chickens. We are outside of our composting area, and you can see here, this is all leaf mulch that the chickens have kicked through, eaten through, and scratched up. So it's all broken down, ready for me to add to the pile with their bedding and some water. Moose is here to help. We're gonna scoop up all this leaf matter and we're gonna stack it back inside the composting area. I'm gonna get this old leaf matter because we're really gonna start accelerating. All this is broken down, it's going into the pit, and then I'm gonna harvest fresh leaves, aka last season's leaves, aka not broken down yet leaves. I'm gonna harvest them and I'm gonna make a pile outside of the ring right down in this area. So this is the processing center for breaking down the leaves to a state that they're not so hydrophobic. We want them absorbing the water and taking part in the composting process. So, enjoy. Oh yeah, this broke down so good. The carbon source that we have the most of on our property is leaves. So we need to take advantage of that and find a way to incorporate them best into our composting system. And so this idea of having the chickens break the leaves apart completely before we add them to the compost pit, that's kind of our creation to solve the problem of the leaves not breaking down. These leaves all breaking down will keep breaking down because I'm putting it back inside the chicken area, but not inside the compost pit. I don't want to overwhelm it with carbon. So we'll get their bedding out, we'll fill the IBC tote, and then we'll water this sucker, and we'll water all this stuff just to encourage microbial breakdown and bugs. There you have it. Chickens will keep breaking this down, adding nitrogen to it, pulling bugs out of it, just decimating it until it's in a position where it composts easily. Let there be water. It's been about 10 minutes, so I fill this thing in about 25 minutes. You know, as I was doing everything barefoot today, I got to thinking, what if you're in bed one night and some threat comes to your homestead and you gotta just book it? Well, I'd hate to be the person that gets outside barefoot and can't make it across the rocks in their yard. Oh, I was gonna save the day. But I can't walk without my shoes on. Nah, let's train for it. I think your feet were meant to touch the ground anyway. There's all these little muscles and tendons that never get used when you're wearing shoes. And since we're on our own soil now, something feels right about just becoming part of that soil. Okay, it's been 25 minutes. And we are pretty darn close to the top. These kind of click open. There we go. Okay, we got water flowing out. Got our fire hose. Let's get him inside. Oh, here comes the water. Hey, everybody. Look what we got. It's not high powered, but it's water. I could just leave this open in a spray format like that. Do chicken cares. Do chicken cares while you're adding a little water here and there. Just turn that on. I love that. Wow, there's a lot of eggs in there. Hey, that works great. This bedding is the broken down leaves that were at the bottom. They're now going inside the chicken coop. What do you think? Do you like the water system? I do. I think we'll keep it for now. All right, it's not even 3 o'clock and I finished all my chores today and all my big tasks. We finished everything we set out to do today. We stayed in flow. We used that momentum, we built off of it. And by the time we finished, we were just on all cylinders. You come back to Strand Farm anytime.